blood.
Yeah, according to Johns Hopkins University, gunshot wounds require more blood than many other traumatic events. WKYT's Mariah Congedo talked with a health professional who says donating blood is one of the best things that people can do. It's our top story at 5:30.
1 in 4 people will need blood in their lifetime, but what we don't know is when it's going to happen.
Blood donation is a proactive gesture.
Eric Lindsay with the Kentucky Blood Center says the blood that's already on hand is what helps during an emergency.
We just don't want to put our medical officials in that situation where they have to make really tough decisions. Whatever the need is, we want to be able to provide the blood.
Doctors at U of L Hospital, where the shooting victims were taken, said in a news conference Tuesday morning that the amount of blood they used to treat them, quote, outstripped the hospital's capacity.
We used 170 units of blood yesterday to treat these victims.
While the Kentucky Blood Center isn't U of L's blood provider, Lindsay says they did reach out to see if they needed any of their blood supply, something he says wouldn't be possible without donors.
A trauma situation, whether it's a car accident or, God forbid, a shooting, one patient alone can use anywhere from 50 to 100 units of blood.
During the COVID-19 pandemic, Lindsay says their blood supply was down, but it's on the mend. He says a healthy blood supply means having a 3 to 4 day supply for their 70-plus hospitals. Right now, they have about a 2 to 3 day supply.
One patient alone can real quickly take what's a good, healthy supply and really quickly put it in that kind of urgent and critical state.
Lindsay says it's a free and easy process that can make all the difference when tragedy strikes.
With the way we split our blood products, you're going to save up to 3 lives.
Mariah Congedo, WKYT.
The Kentucky Blood Center has 8 donor centers in 6 cities across the state. In Lexington, there's one in Andover and one in Beaumont. All of the centers are open Monday through Friday from 9 to 6 and on Saturdays from 8 to 2. They do accept walk-ins, but they encourage people to make an appointment.